Yo, what is going on everyone? Thank you for joining me for another manga chapter review, and in today's video we're going to be discussing and looking at the newest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 170, Tokyo number 1, Colony Part 10. And before we start the synopsis, guys, I'd like to go ahead and thank everyone for the most recent support on my past two videos. I know personally it's not the most amount of views, but for me personally, seeing those amount of views compared to my other videos is definitely very inspiring, and it definitely motivates me to keep up my grind here on YouTube. So once again, guys, thank you everyone for checking out the video, whether you liked it, whether you didn't, whether you commented or just watched. Definitely means a lot to me. And if you haven't already, consider sticking around and subscribing, as I'll be bringing even more anime and manga related videos your way. Now with all that out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this damn chapter already. Beginning the chapter off, we're shown both Fushiguro and Reggie picking their battle up from where it left off last chapter, with Fushiguro using his Shikigami to go on the offensive. Reggie seemingly dodges all of his attacks with ease. Fushiguro trying to gain the upper hand by using his rabbit Shikigami to create a diversion and mask his presence. Reggie sees through this trick and tries to capture Fushiguro. With Fushiguro dodging, Reggie then sends a slew of knives his way, but luckily a Shikigami come in just the nick of time to dodge and help him against the attacks. Reggie, making an observation about Fushiguro's knowledge of his technique, says that the fact that he combined it with water attacks means he's aware of my technique. Fushiguro now responding by telling him he believes his technique to allow him to conjure the contents of receipts, although he isn't 100% sure of this. Reggie, then clarifying his technique, explains to him that he can call it a reproduction of a contract, meaning he can conjure all the contents of a receipt no matter what it may be. Demonstrating this, he uses a receipt from the Starry Night 5-star Japanese Inn, meaning he has essentially just fully healed himself and put himself in a calm and relaxed state. After having fully explained and demonstrated his curse technique, Reggie then tells Fushiguro that they are now in a battle of attrition, as neither side has a high-powered technique. Fushiguro uses this opportunity to run away, but Reggie then gives chase using drones and a moped to follow him to a nearby gymnasium. With Reggie suspecting something, Fushiguro mutters to himself that this should be the right size. With Reggie continuing his onslaught, uses trucks and knives disguised as radishes to attack Fushiguro. With the battle seemingly decided, Reggie then telling Fushiguro that he will grant him a painless death if he gives him his points. It is then that Fushiguro says that domains sure are difficult. Reggie now in disbelief, as he cannot believe Fushiguro has access to such a powerful technique. We end this chapter with a final panel of Fushiguro creating his domain and telling the now fearful Reggie that he never said he didn't have a powerful technique. With the battle now looking to have changed tides, Fushiguro aims to use his Chimera Shadow Garden once again to defeat Reggie. Alright guys, this is going to go ahead and wrap up the synopsis of the chapter. Now we're going to go ahead and jump over to what I thought of the chapter overall. And man, I have to say this was an awesome chapter. I really enjoyed this chapter this week. I definitely felt it continued the streak of just straight action from Jujutsu Kaisen. Gigi Akutami definitely throwing a lot of action at us within these past few chapters, but man, seeing the reintroduction of Fushiguro's domain expansion definitely has me hyped for the next chapter whenever that may drop. But man, I don't feel like there's really too much to go ahead and discuss from this chapter overall. I mean, it was a very action-based chapter. There wasn't a lot of narrative or a lot of heavy dialogue between Fushiguro and Reggie, but the only real dialogue was just in the explanation of Reggie's curse technique, which, man, in itself, I have to say that's one of the most creative, power-ups or just even like things in anime or just manga in general that I've seen. Like, the creativity in Reggie's curse technique is just awesome. Like, being able to take receipts and conjure the contents of what's on it, like, that'd be so awesome, like in real life, dude. Like, if you just had a receipt for whatever the hell, like if you were just finding receipts all over the place, you could just use it to get whatever you want. So the creativity for Reggie's curse technique probably has to be honestly one of my favorite of the series. Now, Reggie as a character, I'm not too big on him. I think he, maybe when the anime rolls around and stuff like that, I can hear a voice actor and stuff like that. But I definitely don't dislike Reggie. I definitely think he's okay, but there isn't really too much to go off of him. But I definitely really think he has a really amazing curse technique, to be sure. But definitely looking forward to the next Jujutsu Kaisen chapter. I wonder if at all we'll get to see Reggie create his own domain expansion. It is possible, but he did state that he didn't have access to it. That's why he sort of felt confident in fighting Fushiguro, as he felt Fushiguro didn't have access to that, and neither did him. So definitely want to see what is going to unfold for next chapter. But out of 10, I would have to give this chapter a 9. I really think it's a great chapter. The reason I think it marks a little bit lower with not getting a 10 is the fact that, as I said, it wasn't very narrative based. So having to see, being able to see a little bit more narrative on the chapter would have been really, really cool. But nonetheless, it was a very hype chapter, very awesome chapter. And I just can't wait to see what happens next. In the cliffhanger last panel of Chimera Shadow Garden was just the icing on the cake for me. So let me know what you guys thought of the most recent Jujutsu Kaisen chapter. Did you guys like it? Are you guys excited for chapter 171? Because I know I am. And let me know in the comment section what you guys are thinking of these new videos. Let me know if you guys are liking them, if there's something I need to improve, if there's something you guys would like to see moving forward. I'm open to all criticisms and suggestions. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as I will be bringing more anime and manga related content. I have some anime reviews I want to go ahead and go into, because I just finished up a few animes that I have been watching, and I definitely want to go ahead and get my reviews on that for you guys. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, and Happy New Year to you guys all. Let's go ahead and make this our year for 2022. Have a great day, guys. See ya.